being a trendsetter, I can tell you the fact is that all of us have problems in the communities where we live, in the society where we live. And every other day when you are confronted with these problems, you are thinking about a solution. You may be able to think about it, discuss it with the other people, but you may also choose to keep quiet about it. You have a solution, you keep quiet about it. Now, these trendsetters, what you are trying to do is appreciating that you have a problem in your midst, but you are saying, I have a solution. And if this solution is made available or is accessible to many others, it will have an impact and will provide a solution in terms of creating the desired transformation within that community. Your thinking is local that far, but when the idea is taken on board by others, it ceases being local. At times it goes beyond your immediate community, at times it goes beyond your immediate district, and at times it becomes a global solution. So some of the things you are doing here, much as they appear to be Ugandan and what have you, tomorrow, who knows, they will be global. And I want to say, please, even when you feel you are being faced with many hardships, many hurdles, don't give up. Share your problems with others, and who knows, the solution will come up one or the other. Now, talking about this whole thing of our village banking, which Primrose talked about, we first came up with this whole thing in the early 90s and registered Finca in 1992. I don't look that old, but I was operating at that level at that time. And the issue was, there were many poor ladies in our midst who wanted to access credit but could not be allowed to step in a banking hall in any of the banking institutions that we know in the country. To them, accessing credit would allow them to raise money, to look after their families, to send their children to school, to access treatment, but also make a difference. Now, I was backbiting you, Professor, but when I backbite you publicly, I really didn't intend to do any harm. It was for good reasons. And the issue was, what do you do with these ladies who want to improve on their lot but cannot access credit because, one, by the way they are always dressed, no banking company, no banking institution would permit them to access their premises. Two, if they are going to access credit, they need collateral, and they had no collateral. This is where this village banking model became important to solving this problem. Said, yes, let us raise money, small credit. I think we started with $20,000. We started with $20,000 and asked women to create village banks. Because when you borrow as a group, there is peer pressure such that you can never default. Now, that helped us to overcome the problem of collateral. It helped us to overcome the problem of collateral, and we found that so many women were prepared to borrow and also pay back. As a matter of fact, loan servicing did stand at 99% for most of our groups, and that helped us. It could not be even, people could not believe that poor women could borrow and pay back. Now, given that this was a very successful experiment, everybody wanted to give us money so that we could lend it to these ladies because they were certain the money would be paid back. And I can tell you it worked. Now, we started with a few village banks around Jinja, Iganga, and so on. We spread the whole of Soga. It's not nepotism, but we spread the whole of Soga, spread the whole of Uganda, moved to Tanzania, moved to Malawi, moved to Zambia, moved to Congo DRC, and many other countries, and Nigeria as well. And this really worked so well that practically every leader in each of these countries wanted to be associated with what we are doing at Finca. I can tell you, our president visited us in Jinja, but even President Clinton and Mrs. Clinton also found time to come and see what we are doing in Jinja. Now, I didn't know the work we are doing could be recognized and appreciated even at that level. And I can tell you, ever since that time, the success of Finca has been phenomenal, not only in Uganda, but all over the world. But this can only happen if you have got good people like her to continue with this work. If you do not have a team that is prepared to buy into this idea and continue propagating the idea, continue working on it, your good idea will die with you. This Think idea is not about to die, because all these people we started with in Jinja ended up being the ones, the managers in all these other countries. Can you imagine exporting manpower at that level? And it really worked out so well. And I want to tell you, if you have got any good idea, please don't give up on it. It will bear dividends for you and the entire community. That was our contribution to the empowerment, economic empowerment of women who would never have been in any way availed credit by anyone, who would have never been in a position to do business beyond their homestead. And I can tell you, many of them are very successful. Actually, when I'm looking for a loan or line of credit, at times I'm bailed out by some of these very ladies. And I want to make sure that they continue doing well and things will be okay. Thank you very much. This work in Thinker the other day also earned me a DSO, Distinguished Service, the Order of Distinguished, whatever you remember. Wow. Remember Ida Amin? Yes. You would sign and say Dr. Aruhaj, Field Marshal Ida Amin Dada, DSO, MC, and now I can also add the DSO after my name. Thank you very much.
So much, Honorable. We are privileged. Thank you so much for. Now, while we are very able to recognize companies, and that is where we are trendsetters, we actually look out for the individuals behind the trends, which is why we did not call Airtel Uganda, but the person who put a tick to the fact that when you beep, you can get a call back. We are recognizing the individual behind the trend. No, it could be another individual within the company, but if that individual's idea is capped, no one will ever know. So we like to identify, recognize, and it has your name, sir.